Hey everyone, this is Brianna Torrey. I am one of your craft show experts here at Flourish, and today I'm just going to be talking about why branding matters at craft shows. So let's get started. Here is me at a craft show. This was one of the first large 3-day shows that I did. It was kind of when I was just starting out, and I know I wanted to go for bright and airy. I was using a lot of repurposed vintage materials and items at the time, so I just wanted to capture the colorful, fun nature and give these old pieces a new, vibrant life. So here's me kind of in my element. So let's talk about why branding is important at in-person events. You guys might have really nailed your branding in your Etsy shop or on your website. So why is it important to also have the same branding flow into in-person events? When you do correct branding, it can really help you look credible in front of your customer base. It can give them a lot of confidence and establish loyalty within your customer base, and it can make your brand easily recognizable in the future. If you, let's say you sew or you create things at your kitchen table and then you decide you want to sell them at a craft show. Well, if you just throw it all out on a table, it's going to look very homemade. And if you're trying to charge, $99 for whatever this item is, people might kind of balk at that price because it looks very homemade, not very high-end. But when you have everything branded, you're professional, you have signage, you have business cards, you have a website, you're established, people usually don't bat an eyelash at paying those higher prices because they view you as a legitimate brand and a company, and they feel confident in you and in your products and that they're getting a high quality piece. And it also makes you memorable so that people remember who you are if they see you in the future. While online branding grows your business nationally or even internationally, kind of big picture, in-person branding can really help you connect locally. A lot of times folks will find certain inns, they'll get their foot in the door with boutiques or local pop-up shops, etc., because they were found at craft shows, because they are credible, they're established looking, they're professional, and so local businesses and even just local customers will want to be a part of what they have going on because they have a professional front. Like I said, cohesive branding can help you present a professional front. It gives customers confidence in your pricing. It helps you look credible and helps your customers feel just very comfortable with what you're doing. And then effective branding gives you an opportunity to show your shoppers what makes you and your product stand out from the competition. When you have everything branded and it flows together, people understand who you are, they understand what your products are, how that all works together, and what makes it different and exciting from other people. So when you're determining your brand, I am not necessarily a branding or target market expert. You'll have to talk to some of the other experts about that if you haven't really nailed down your target market, or you're still kind of trying to figure out and hammer out what your brand is and who you are and who your brand is. You want to maybe talk to some of the other experts. But when you're thinking about your branding, you're generally thinking of who is your target market, what are they into, what's their style, and then how can you use your display in person to appeal to this style and this target market. So the first and foremost thing that I always tell people is to be your brand. You are the most important part of your brand. It is the saddest thing to me when people set up their booth and you can't even see them. They're hiding behind a shelf or some towels and you can't even see them. People want to buy handmade because they like the story that handmade tells, and that is the story of an individual artisan that is being inspired and creating these things. And so they want to hear that story, and they can't hear that story or understand that if they can't see you. So be visible in your booth. Show your shoppers who you are and who your business is. So if your products are, I said 80s grunge inspired, dude, you rock that Van Halen shirt. Or if you sell really nice, beautiful boutique style jewelry, dress chic, wear a nice, beautiful floral blouse, take a shower, put your hair up, put on a swab of mascara. It shows that you reflect your items, and it shows that you are cohesive in how you are presenting yourself and your brand. If you have a chance to wear your products, so if you have jewelry or you sell aprons or hair products or things like that, wear your items. Sometimes things, especially let's say like a fascinator or something like that, can be kind of intimidating, and so it helps people to be able to see how to use your products and in what ways they could be applied. I say Vanna White your items. If you think of The Price is Right, think of the girls that show off all the pieces, maybe not that cheesy, but you want to show off your items and give your shoppers an idea of how to relate to your product. When you're talking about branding in your booth, you want to make sure that things are consistent across the board. So here's just some things to think through when you're making things consistent. Your basic display items. So everything from your tent color to your tablecloth, shelves, your banner, the signage that you use in your booth for your pricing and just descriptions. Make sure that everything flows together and makes sense together with your branding. Think through any printed materials that you want to have at the show, business cards, any kind of coupon flyers, if you're having any signs for promos, giveaways, anything like that. And then packaging. This is not only how your actual items are displayed within your booth, but once someone purchases an item, how are you going to package that up to sell? Are you going to wrap it in tissue paper with some twine and a business card? Are you just going to drop it in a little baggie with some washi and tape it down with some washi tape? Think through how you're going to do that so that when they take it home, they have this beautifully packaged little item, and it immediately makes them think of you and it makes them remember you when they get home. All the feels. So when you do your booth, you want to entice all of the senses. So your branding is a great way to tell your business's story. So you want your booth to feel like an escape. You want it to stimulate the senses and invoke emotion. So I'll kind of dive into that a little bit more. So we'll go through the senses. So sight. Is your booth visually appealing? When somebody walks up, does it just look inviting and warm and cozy? Smell. So if you sell bath products or candles, things like that, this is kind of an easy one, but are there ways that you can think through your products, and is there a way that you can evoke smell, even if you sell jewelry, things like that, or think through ways that you can use something to maybe, invite smell into it, whether it's, some sprigs of lavender, or, you can even have, if the venue allows you to have a candle going or something like that, just something to kind of make the space cozy. Taste. If you sell food items, this one's super easy, obviously. You're going to want to give away samples, let people know what your food tastes like, or what your jelly tastes like, or what your salsa tastes like. But if you don't sell food items, I'm going to show an example later on in just a second of a booth that I did. So we'll talk about that in a second. Touch. Are your products easily felt and tested? Is your booth inviting people to actually come up and touch things? The great thing about in-person sales and shows is that typically it's easier to convince someone how amazing your products are when they can see it firsthand. They can touch it, they can turn it over in their hands, they can see visually how big it is. So you want to make sure that your products are right out in front, that they can sample or touch or feel. And then sound. If the venue will allow you to play just some ambient music that kind of goes with your with your booth. So again, if you're kind of like rocky grunge, kind of a branding theme, then have some appropriate music playing, or if you can have, just some kind of chill Norah Jones or something going, if that goes with your brand. So if the venue will allow you to, see if you can play, get a little Bluetooth speaker and play some music. So this is a booth that I love, except for the fact that they don't have their sign anywhere. I have absolutely no idea who this vendor is or what their shop is. So that'd be a major critique there. So you would want a sign. I would maybe have something like right here on the front of the their little checkout station, or even hanging up in here. So that would definitely be a critique. But I love, love, love that they have created an atmosphere that's super inviting and it's cozy. You get a very instant understanding of kind of who they are and what their feel is. It's very, it kind of reminds me of kind of like the Fixer Upper vibe with the wood and the metal and kind of the rustic chicness of it. They've added some real plants here, so you could use some lavender or something like that to add in a little bit of smell. And again, just kind of embraces that kind of farmhouse chic environment. And it invites customers to touch and feel everything here. You can see all of these kind of folded up blankets, the baskets, everything is out and says, hey, come touch me, come sample me, come try me. This is what I was talking about. This is a booth that I did that was outside. It was a outdoor 3-day festival. It was super hot, and I know from personal experience that a lot of shoppers will bring their pets to this and their kids. And since I was selling things like burp cloths, and then also things for mom, like aprons and things like that. So I kind of went for a jab here. I put out some suckers for kids and put them right at kid level, because kids are going to run up to the booth, they're going to grab a sucker, and then mom's going to feel super guilty that their kid took a sucker, and they're going to do kind of a pity peruse of my booth. And more often than not, they would end up buying something once they were kind of drawn in. Same thing. I had a bowl of water, and I had some dog biscuits there for the four-legged friends, and I put a sign out that said treats for your 2- and 4-legged munchkins, with water, and then my little T of my Tailored by Tori logo right there. So that was the way I kind of added taste to my booth without selling food items. I've also done shows around in the spring, especially when I'm trying to target the Mother's Day shopping crowd. I've had, a basket or bowl of Godiva chocolates or truffles or things like that out to kind of entice people in with a goodie. Another important aspect of branding in your booth is to advertise, advertise, advertise. You should always be advertising yourself when you are at an in-person event. So you put your logo and your shop name in prominent places. You have a banner either in front of the table, you've got it hanging up behind you, something. When people walk up, they should immediately see your shop name and know exactly who you are. You want to have stickers or tags on every item with a link to website, social media, etc. It is always so sad when I buy something that is so amazing, and then when I get home, I can't remember who in the world I bought it from, and then I don't know where to go back to. Or what if someone bought this for, this particular item for a gift? The person that's receiving it has absolutely no idea where to go if they like it and they want more, or if they, want to give the same thing as a gift in the future. So make sure that you think through branding on every single item, adding some kind of signage that links back to you in a way so that people can find you later. You want to have any business cards, any other takeaways, things like that, right there front and center. And think through something that's a little bit fun and memorable, like a magnetic business card or a pen or something kind of fun and free that people can grab that has your shop name and helps people remember you. And then in-person shows are an amazing place. If you're thinking about doing some kind of a mailing list, this is a great place to gather names. I will show you in just a second a kind of setup that I had with a lot of these things in it. And so here you can see I had my business cards. I sew, and so I had a vintage, I sew and I was repurposing vintage items at the time. So I have a vintage sewing kit here with old spools of thread with my business cards. I have a framed thing here where I was featured in a local magazine. So again, just kind of establishing my credibility. I have my sign for all my social media to let people know where they can find me on the internet. I have a brochure of some of the custom orders and other things that I was doing at the time that was not visible in my booth, just to give people a further idea of what I did. And then also here I have my mailing list, so that if people want to join my list or get a custom order, they can contact me, and I have an easy, quick reference point to add them in and get back to them after the show. So now I'm just going to go into just a couple of quick examples of a well-branded booth. I'm a very visual person, so this will kind of give you a better idea of when I say a well-branded booth, you'll understand what I mean by looking cohesive. So I love this booth. It has this amazing branded tablecloth. They are using chalkboard displays with wood and jute accents. They have kind of animal designs and camper kind of outdoors. So it all kind of goes together. It says outdoors, the colors, everything just kind of screams the same story and tells the same message. Now, you might not be able to do a fancy tablecloth, that kind of a thing, but we'll go into some other cheap DIY stuff in just a second. So here is another one. I love that they have taken just a simple chalkboard folded sign, and they have just written out their name and their information right there in chalk, and have just repurposed some vintage pieces and baskets for their display. So here is a very inexpensive and easy way to display things, but also looking warm and inviting and cozy and cohesive. This is a great booth with clean lines, very industrial. They have well-branded signage that you can see. They use the wood and the metal displays. They have this coordinating rug, which if you have a layout of your booth that has a walk-in design, it's a big 10 by 10, that kind of a thing, where people are going to be actually walking into your booth and not just shopping at a table. I love the idea of a rug. It really just creates kind of a top to bottom feel of come on in, shop. It makes it feel more like a boutique. So I love, love, love this booth and the way that everything is easily identifiable. You can see exactly, you can touch everything, you can hold it. It's fantastic. And I love what these people have done here of just keeping it very clean and bright. Obviously, the shop name is Hello Sunshine. You can see they have it on their banner, which again is just an easy DIY banner. They haven't gone out and spent a ton of money on it. They've got these nice professionally branded signs here. So again, you know exactly what their shop is. All of their pricing and other signage for their items all match the same colors. They've got the same pop of the signature color. And everything's just clean and inviting. So thank you guys so much for watching my presentation. I hope it helped you guys learn a little bit more about branding and just presenting that good united front of having a cohesive brand at a craft show. Again, my name is Brianna Torrey, and I'm one of the craft show experts or gurus here. If you have any questions or want to schedule a mentor call with me, my fellow craft show expert Amanda Lilly and I have an Etsy shop devoted to that. It's The Market Gals, and you can get us on Etsy. It's themarketgals.etsy.com, and we both offer mentoring calls, and very soon we're going to open up craft booth critiques. So that'll look like different things between the two of us, but that's something that we're really excited to be offering very soon for you guys to kind of help walk through your setup and kind of help you work through that process. And then we are also very close to launching our craft show guide, and so that will also be available in our shop. So if you guys would go and favorite our shop, then you'll be on the up and up and know when we load in new things and when we get that going. So thank you guys so much, and have a fantastic day.